Peace and blessings, family. It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Broadcasting Community. Shout out to the Louisiana All American Sports Network. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is my full post-game reaction to the 51st edition of the Bayou Classic. Of course, it was at Caesar Superdome, Southern versus Grambling and the granddaddy of them all, the Bayou Classic. And, I love family, but I'm going to keep it 100. Dealing with family, I kind of been late for kickoff. And I hate missing kickoff for any Southern University game, but two of the last three games messing around, two of the last three Bayou Classics, I missed kickoff messing around with family. And the crazy thing about it, the thing that made me even more upset, we spent the night in New Orleans and we still missed kickoff. But, that's another story for another day. Got to the Caesar Superdome, a lot of confusion, but got there. Grambling had already kicked off. Southern got the ball first. They got to about midfield, got a couple first downs, whatever. And they eventually punted the ball to Grambling. Grambling punted the ball back to Southern. Southern eventually scored, but Jalen Woods connected with eventual Bayou Classic MVP Chandler Whitfield on a long pass. I think Chandler Whitfield ended up getting tackled at the 1 yard line. Southern ended up running it in. Southern goes up 7-0. Southern eventually gets the ball back. They go down the field. They drive, but they ended up settling for a field goal. But on ensuing kickoff, Grambling runs the kickoff back for a touchdown. Now the score is 10-7 in favor of Southern. And for the most part, not a whole lot happens. I think the thing that kind of stood out to me, of course, at one point, Grambling changed quarterbacks. But, Grambling's offense was like very anemic in my opinion. But both teams leaned a ridiculous amount on a running game. Southern was extremely run heavy. There were like a couple plays. One play, it was like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Southern ran the ball. And I'm like, why didn't I throw the ball? Then in another instance, Southern, I think it was like 3rd and maybe 1. And Grambling clearly was loaded up against the run. And instead of pulling it and throwing it, Southern ran the ball and got stopped. And Grambling the same way. So both Southern and Grambling, they really tried to lean heavily on the running game. So, there were like a lot of plays. Southern ran the ball and Grambling clearly loaded up the box. I think a few of those plays, I think they should have pulled it and let Jalen Woods throw the ball, whoever, to whatever. Eventually, Southern gets the ball. Southern goes for a field goal. Grambling blocks it. Grambling really isn't able to capitalize on it. Eventually we get to halftime. Of course, Lil Boosie, Baton Rouge legend, he ended up performing with the human jukebox for halftime. I already knew this. A lot of people were surprised by it. I wasn't, because at the last home game, I saw a flyer that said Boosie was going to perform at halftime. And I already knew he's not performing with Grambling. He definitely performing with Southern. I guess Fantasia performing with Southern last year and him sitting on the sideline, I guess that kind of, triggered him to want to perform with Southern for halftime. But, it is what it is. Southern kicked the ball off because Grambling got the ball to start second half. Grambling immediately throws an interception. Southern really isn't able to capitalize. By this point in the game, we had, some concessions and refreshments. My nephew is like, Uncle, I need to go use the restroom. So I had to go bring him to the restroom. Came back. Eventually, well, of course, at this point, Southern is up 10-7. Southern ended up scoring. Southern ended up going up 17-7. Grambling response. So now the score is 17-14. And for the most part, it was kind of like a struggle. Grambling get the ball back. And at one point, Grambling has the ball. And I think the quarterback throws a slant, and Southern DB lays Grambling wide receiver out. This young man was motionless on the field. Everyone was scared, both Grambling fans and Southern fans. Because initially I'm like, why he threw the flag? He didn't seem defenseless to me, but evidently he was. But he laid on the field a long time. I was happy. All was well with him. He was okay. From what I understood, he was moving or whatever. But they still caught him off the field like it was a scary moment. Eventually, after everything straightened up or whatever, Southern eventually gets the ball back from Grambling. Southern scores. Southern goes up 24-14. And for the most part, that ended up being the final score. I'm not going to say, it's the worst Bayou Classic I've ever been to. In fact, it's far from the worst. I think, I know some people in the past, it was like, man, Coach, I think you understand that because both of those quarterbacks are white. No, I'm saying that because both of them were trash. Marcus Jacoby and Matt Cornblath. For those individuals that don't know, Matt Cornblath was George Steinbrenner's nephew, or I guess still is or whatever. He was a starting quarterback for Grambling. Marcus Jacoby, white quarterback for Southern, probably one of the worst, maybe the worst Southern quarterback I've seen. Those two were like the two. When those two were starting quarterbacks, I think that's probably the worst Bayou Classic I've been to. But, this Bayou Classic, it wasn't like the most exciting. Probably, maybe 99 might have been like the most exciting Bayou Classic I've been to. Southern was down 31-10, and they eventually ended up coming back to win. That might be like the most exciting, but it's far from the worst, and it definitely wasn't the most exciting. It's probably somewhere in the middle. It was an extremely, in my opinion, pedestrian kind of game for the most of the game. It was very uneventful. I think Southern winning is the most important thing. I think the highlight of the night is Boosie performing with Southern's band, the Human Jukebox, during halftime show. But, it wasn't a whole lot to write home about. I think Southern clearly played down to Grambling's level. They definitely going to need to play a lot better than this if they're going to beat Jackson State next week in the SWAC championship game. But, it kind of is what it is. Tomorrow, either I'm going to do another video or I'm going to do a live stream just kind of breaking down all the stats and, scoring summaries and everything. But that's it for this video. If you found any value in this video, please like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Also, click the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime I post any new videos. Tomorrow, my brother, more than likely, he will have a show, but every Sunday he does a show. My brother, Jared Levin Green, the Southern Baller Show. We talk about HBCU football. We talk about college football. We talk about NFL football. We just talk about football in general. Okay? Also, my brother, Brent Fox, go check out his channel. He has a show called It's Just Me Starring Brent Fox. For all my LDBC family members that love boxing the way I do, he does a 20x20 series. And also go check out my brother, the General, 7A Sports TV. He has two channels. He has 7A Sports TV, his primary channel. He has 94K subs. Go please support this brother YouTube. Kind of short stopping his primary channel. But definitely go subscribe to his backup channel, the LDBC General. I hope you found value in this video. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. and go Jags.